Am I audible?
Yes, we are audible very much.
Okay, sir. Okay. So,
I'm
sir,
audible?
we'll. Yeah, yes, you are audible, sir. Actually, Deepak is won't be able to attend this webinar as he has, some there is some emergency at our place.
Okay.
So, I, on behalf of Team Study Cafe, I welcome you for this webinar.
Okay, no problem. What's your good name?
My name is CA Pratibha Goel.
Okay, Pratibha. Thank you.
Okay. So we will start in like 5-10 minutes.
Yes, fine. Profile I could not share. If you want, I can email it immediately. Small profile.
Yes, sir. You can email me. That would be all
On the
right.
same where you send me the link on the same email ID.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I will try to do something. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Kamlesh, Purani ji, Balveer Singh ji. No, sir, the session has not started yet. I hope I am audible. You are able to hear my voice. Session will start exact at 5 o'clock. We will start exact at 5. I was just waiting for some more participants to join, and then we will start. So in case till then, if you have any query, you can ask to me also. Hello, sir. Sir, should we start because it's like 5 2 and sir, actually, many of the participants they have registered, but they are in office, so they will join,
A bit
by
later.
YouTube later, a bit later, because the recording is available at YouTube.
I know. Okay.
So the
As you
live, I think, yes.
as you like, I have no issues. We can start even now. It's already 5.
Yes. So, sir, I've received your profile, so I'll read your profile and then you can start the deliberation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, CA Suresh Jain, he's a Mumbai-based chartered accountant, and he has got experience of more than 35 years. He has been faculty with ICI for GST, and he has taken various MCS and orientation courses. And he has been faculty with many private institute also, and he has conducted many trainings and mock interviews and mock discussions. So, sir is the regular speaker of GST and he has conducted many programs. So, I think, sir, you have got a very good experience, and I really believe that this webinar is going to be very helpful, especially in today's scenario where we know that most of the interviews would be conducted virtually now. So, with this note, without wasting much time, I would, request you to start the deliberation.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Very good evening to all my friends. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Am I audible? Yes, thank you. Uh, I actually want to make this session interactive, but I don't think it will be possible because you'll have to give the messages on chat box only, and probably maybe I can reply at that time verbally on the screen. But still, let's see if we can do it or not. Uh, I will not be showing too much of your PPTs and all, but I'll be talking more to you all. I'll make you understand what it is, how you give a virtual interview, what all is required under a virtual interview. All those things are there. So, first of all, let me wish you all again a very good evening, and I'm grateful to Study Cafe and especially CA Deepak Gupta and his team for giving me this opportunity to present this webinar on tips for attending a virtual interview, which is the current scenario in this present world of virtuality. We are not going to offices, we are all working from home. A lot of you might have started going to office now in some parts of the country, but Bombay is still under lockdown. We are not going to offices as yet. So, and this will be what our future now. Working from home, giving everything virtual interviews, etc., etc. My name and brief introduction has been already given by her. I'll still give my uh, let you know my name once again. I'm Suresh Jain, CA Suresh Jain from Mumbai, and I'm involved with this activity of interviews, group discussion, resume, etc. for many of my students, as well as I conduct mock interviews, mock group discussions for institutions, private institutions, even CA Institute, and I'm also there on the panel of many corporates for conducting interviews for them. That's a little bit about me. Uh, these are hard times for all of us. We know that, but these times have taught us a lot of many new things, which we were not aware ourselves till now. Because things have changed, we have started working from home. All of a sudden, this came onto our head. The country went into lockdown. We were not prepared for it. So, a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things have come to our where we have started learning new things. So you must have attended many webinars conducted on many platforms during this lockdown period. Even Study Cafe has been launching lots of webinars. That's a very good thing for all of us, all professionals, even others. I have also attended many webinars during this lockdown period. Increasing your knowledge is the best thing. Is my voice too low?
No, sir, you're very much audible.
Okay.
Voice is fine, sir.
Okay. Somebody just sent a message that my voice is low.
No, no, sir. I think it is problem with only one person because everybody else is saying that voice is fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I was just saying that Study Cafe has also conducted many programs, webinars. We have all attended them. It's very useful to all of us, and this is the time when we can gather and increase our knowledge. So I have also done that, and hopefully all of you would have also done this during the lockdown period. As I said, in Mumbai we are still under lockdown. Only 10% staff is allowed in the offices. Trains are still not working. Local trains have not started as yet. Sometimes they come, otherwise they are not come. They are not running on regular basis. They are running only for emergency purposes. So even the trains are not there. Just hold on for a second. Okay. Uh, so this webinar, I suppose, will help a lot of people. Those who are looking for a new job, those who are looking for a change in their job. Lots of people have lost their job also during this period because of the pandemic. I wish good luck to all and hope soon everyone will be employed again. And this webinar will help you all in getting a lot of confidence in attending interviews in future. Interview is such a subject, even if you have attended 15 or 20 interviews, you'll always be nervous whenever you go for an interview. That's human nature. So don't bother about it. Go confidently and attend. Now you don't need to go for interviews also. You can just give it online, webinar like this, attend the interview virtually. Earlier also we used to have virtual interviews, but they were all for the international assignments. Now we will be having virtual interviews even for local assignments within the country, within India, within your state. So things have changed. That's why we need to learn how to give a virtual interview, what all is involved into it. Uh, in physical interview, it is said that first impression plays a major role in deciding. So the first 5 minutes of your interviews decides whether you will be taken or not, whether you will be appointed or not. So what do? You give your best. So the moment you enter the room, you enter very confidently. You wish everybody. You give a firm handshake to them. So now, in virtual interview, there's no physical this thing, no handshake. What is best is come back to our best is to come back to our Indian national system. Namaste. That is the best thing. So we can develop this. It has been accepted now by many other countries also. They are also following the same system of Namaste now. So it's a very good thing we should do. We should follow the same thing. Similar to the physical interview, virtual interview is also like that. You have to just come with a lot of confidence in yourself, wish everybody, whoever is there on the panel of the interview, and just feel the same as if you are giving a physical interview instead of being present in an office or a, feel the same way, get the same feeling. So virtual interview also helps you in deciding about your future. The first impression over here also counts a lot. So be confident, have eye contact with the panelist, greet with namaste. That's the best thing, as I told you, because greeting is required. You can say hello, hi, good evening, good morning, that is fine. But you can always add our original culture, namaste. That's been accepted by everyone. So that's what I would like to first. This is what is the brief about what we are going to do today. So carry on with your confidence. Go ahead and attend the interview. Now today's webinar I have divided basically into three parts. First is about the technology part. Second is about the questions which can be asked on work from home. And the third part is your general questions. General questions will also based on your behavioral questions, stress questions and all. Now, when I talk about these questions, I'm going to show you the slides about the questions. But answers, there are no answers on the slides. I'll be speaking about the answers. I will tell you the answers. These answers are just guidelines. You cannot take it as a final answer. And when you go for an interview and not come back to me, कि सर मैंने तो आपका आंसर दिया बट मेरा सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ. So it's not like that. These are guidelines which helps in developing and creating and becoming very confident to reply to the questions asked by the panelists. So please follow the guidelines. I'm sure it's going to help all of you. So this is just to prepare yourself for the interview. Uh, as I told you, all interviews, whichever interview, whenever, whoever gives, even if I've given 15 interviews, I'll still be not very confident. So to get that confidence, you need to be very first prepare yourself. Once you are prepared, then only you will get that confidence. Until you prepare yourself, you may not get that confidence. So I wish all the best to everyone who are attending this program, who would be giving interviews in future, all of you to get a very good job in future. If you are looking for a change, get a change. If you are looking for a new job, this interview might help you. This series might help you.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah,
I just also welcome one of our panelists to this program, Mr. Ajay, CA Ajay Kumar Goel.
I
So,
can
sir is,
see.
yes, sir is a
न,
तुलसी नम
नमस्कार जी, कैसे हैं आप?
तुलसी नमस्कार, बढ़िया बढ़िया, बस
मैं अभी
अपना।
बस मैं अभी सबको नमस्ते के बारे में ही बता रहा था।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
अभी
बिल्कुल
तो
बिल्कुल।
नमस्ते का ही ज़माना चलने वाला है।
हाँ, सही कह रहे हो, सही कह रहे हो, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity on being this platform, and I hope
थैंक्स।
everyone enjoys and it is useful to everyone. दीपक जी नहीं आ सके, कोई बात नहीं, but team is already there, so that's nice.
जी 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 जी
Thank you.
जी
Thank you.
जी।
Shall I continue?
yes, sir.
यस सर।
Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay. See, now we have interviews. As I told you, we have been giving virtual interviews earlier also, but earlier it was for international assignments. Now we'll be doing all this for our local assignments within country, within state, within the place where you're staying also. So interviews are of many kinds. They are on Skype, they are on Zoom, they are on Google Meet. It can be on any platform. It does not matter. But virtual interview will be always a virtual interview, wherein you physically do not interact with the panelist. But you should get the same feeling as if you are interacting with the panelist. जैसे मैंने अभी अजय जी से बात की, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि वो मेरे सामने नहीं बैठे हैं। आई हैव टू गेट द सेम फीलिंग कि अजय जी मेरे सामने बैठे हैं और मैं उनसे बात कर रहा हूँ। वही चीज़ आपको होनी चाहिए जब आप इंटरव्यू देने जाते हैं। डोंट फील दैट कि मैं घर में बैठा हूँ तो मैं कैसे भी इंटरव्यू दे सकता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं है। सो आई विल गिव यू सम ऑफ द गाइडेंस। फर्स्ट आई विल टॉक अबाउट द टेक्निकल पार्ट ऑफ इट, then secondly I will talk about some questions on work from home, and third I'll be talking about general questions. Wherever questions are there, I will give you answers for them. There will be your hints for giving the right answers according to me, what I feel is okay. I have been in this industry for last many years. I have taken many interviews. I have done lots and lots of mock interviews for people, for institutes, private institutes, including CA Institute, I would say. And I do at my own institute also mock interviews for students. I do similar way group discussions, mock group discussions also for students, and I also help them in creating their resumes. So we'll start with the process now. So the first part is getting prepared for an interview. What do you do when you get prepared for an interview? You have to get prepared in advance. इंटरव्यू 5 बजे चालू होने वाला है और आप तभी बोलोगे मैं लॉग इन करूंगा और तभी मैं जूम पे आऊंगा और तब मैं अपनी टेक्निकल पार्ट्स देखूंगा वो सब ठीक है कि नहीं, am I audible or not, am I is my video on or not. So all those things you have to check in advance. You cannot leave it for the last moment. You cannot wait to waste other people's time in an interview. Please remember, interview whenever interview is conducted, they would expect you to be on time. So you prepare yourself technically in all aspects before the interview starts. You have to check your system and not make people wait. Check that you have the updated versions of whatever wherever they are going to conduct interview. If it is Zoom, you have to have the updated version of Zoom. If it is FaceTime, you have to see whether you have connected well. All those things you have to see in advance. Check your battery, power connection, backup, etc. All these things are very important, and they very often happen. आज मैं यहाँ पे बैठा हूँ, अचानक से मेरा इंटरनेट जा सकता है. I do not know. So I have to have an arrangement of a backup also. Maybe a second internet connection or a third internet connection or maybe a hotspot. Some arrangement has to be there. I cannot say कि मेरा इंटरनेट चला गया so आज का बंद हो गया आपका टॉपिक. I cannot say that. Similarly, in an interview, you have to prepare very well. Check your connection beforehand. Have backup wherever required. One more thing, what I suggest as far as technical part is concerned, take off other devices which eat up lot of your internet. आपका गूगल होम चालू रहेगा, एलेक्सा चालू रहेगा, वो सब इंटरनेट पे कनेक्टेड रहते हैं. So I suggest generally take them off from the interview so that you get a very good connection when you are giving an interview. So your computer does not compete with other devices. पता चलेगा गूगल होम ज़्यादा इंटरनेट कनेक्शन कंज्यूम कर रहा है, आपके कंप्यूटर पे आ ही नहीं रहा है. इट इज़ नॉट पासिंग ऑन टू योर सिस्टम. So take care of that part. See that other equipment do not eat up your internet connection. Leave them free. Also, I recommend to write down the ID of your uh, whatever connection where you are going to have the interview. Zoom ID है तो Zoom ID आप लिख के रखिए एक कागज पे, एक येलो स्टिकर पे. Keep it somewhere handy so that you can access it anytime wherever it is required. Please keep that also in mind, because well, sometimes due to internet it gets the connection gets lost and you have to get reconnected, and it may not get reconnected automatically on the same line. So you should always keep the ID and the password wherever it is possible with you. In technology, always check your camera, because आप virtual interview दे रहे हैं, आप visible नहीं होगे तो your interview will not be successful. Check your camera is working properly. Check your sound system. हम सबसे पहले यही पूछते हैं, am I audible, am I visible? So in interview you cannot ask your panelists whether I am audible or not, or whether I am visible or not. You should be confident about it. Once I have started attending the interview, I am audible, I am visible. All my connections are proper. See that there is enough light. Light का क्या मतलब होता है? Generally, light should be there in front of you. If there is light in front of you, you will be visible very clearly. पीछे की लाइट ज़्यादा काम नहीं करती है. They make you more darker. So, to be on, you should have sufficient light when you are giving an interview. Whenever you are doing any recording also, the light should come from the front, not from the back. So there should be a flashlight in the front. If you have any table lamp or anything, just put it in the front, which makes it more lively. They will also feel and you will also enjoy. So this is these are few of the things related to technology. Now about space. When you are giving an interview, choose a very private and quiet space in your house. If you are giving it, because you are under lockdown, you are not allowed to go out, so most probably you will be giving an interview from your house. There might be many people in your house. Somebody might knock sometime, somebody might disturb you. So please inform them that I am on an interview. Please do not disturb me for next 1 hour or 1.5 hour or whatever time you feel interview might continue. रिमूव ऑल द क्लटर फ्रॉम बिहाइंड. अगर मेरे पीछे सामान भरा हुआ है तो वो नहीं दिखना चाहिए वीडियो में, अपने को ऑलवेज ध्यान रहे. नो आउटसाइड साउंड शुड ऑल्सो कम. सो यू हैव टू चूज अ प्लेस विच इज़ वेरी साइलेंट. नो डिस्टर्बेंस. सामने हो सकता है आपका घर रोड के ऊपर, रोड के साइड पे हो, गाड़ियाँ जा रही हो, उनकी आवाज़ें आती हो, या मे बी समथिंग और द अदर. सो टेक केयर ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स. Small things which we generally forget, it's like revisiting them. When I'm telling them, most of us know about it. It is not that we don't know. But then I'm just trying to revisit them so that you recollect it when you actually appear for an interview. Just take care of that part, that family members do not come and disturb you in between. So you please inform them in advance. On your laptop or your computer, प्लीज क्लोज ऑल अदर विंडोज. व्हाट हैपेंस, आपका व्हाट्सएप भी खुला रहेगा, आपका जीमेल भी खुला रहेगा, कुछ दो चार न्यूज़ चैनल्स खुले रहेंगे, सबके नोटिफिकेशंस आते रहेंगे. So please shut all other windows when you are giving an interview. Don't keep them on. Otherwise, notifications will keep coming. You will also get disturbed. Maybe some of them will be visible also on the screen. So see that you close all the windows of your laptop or computer system, whatever you are using. Then, so we have spoken about the technological part, we have spoken about the space, camera, light, sound. Now comes is your look. What happens? Dress professional. Even if you are giving a virtual interview, remember to dress professionally. That's one of the most important part. And don't dress half. Lot of people Do that only. नीचे में क्या पहना है पता नहीं, ऊपर में अच्छे से ड्रेस कर लेते हैं. It is not like that. See, if you dress well, you get a lot of confidence. To gain the confidence for an interview, it is very important that you dress well. You dress the same way as if you are going for a physical interview. Dress formal, dress corporate, and be confident. That's very important. And don't dress half, I'm telling you again. Dress as if you were going for a physical interview. So this is all about your looks also, and this is what I would say. Now the first thing before the interview is your resume. I'm not going to talk much on resume today, but since you are giving a virtual interview, I suggest that you keep a copy of your resume handy. आप वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू में हैं, आप बुक्स भी रख सकते हो, पेपर्स भी रख सकते हो, अपना रेज्यूमे भी रख सकते हो, अपने क्वेश्चन आंसर्स जो प्रिपेयर किए वो भी आप अपने पास में रख सकते हो. So it becomes easier for you to give the interview. So keep a copy of your resume handy with you so that you know what all you have mentioned in this resume. When you go for physical interview, you do not get this opportunity. You do not see your resume yourself. So you have to read it twice, thrice, four times, what changes you have made in the resume and what resume has been submitted to this particular organization where you are going for an interview. So remember that part also. Then suggest to make necessary changes in the resume wherever it is required, because now I would suggest that you put something in the resume about your knowledge of working from home during this lockdown period. आज 3 महीने हो गए हैं, आपने ज़रूर कुछ नॉलेज गेन किया होगा लॉकडाउन पीरियड में, कैसे हमको वर्क फ्रॉम होम करना है वगैरह वगैरह के बारे में आप जानकारी रखिए. Keep yourself updated. Add into it and add into your resume a little bit about work from home, what all skills you have developed to work from home. Then the last part about resume, what I would tell you and suggest you now is, since most of the interviews would be conducted virtually, I suggest that you should make a resume in PPT form. You can make a resume in PPT form. That is what is going on latest in the market. So please, it's not still very common. People still feel very this thing. How can I make a PPT of my resume? But that's the best way. Make a PPT of your resume, send it across, because interview is also virtual. Let the resume also be virtual. It becomes much easier for the HR department to screen your resume when it is sent in a PPT format. And I would feel that the HR department, will also be impressed by the new format of PPT, and it will do the work of first impression for you. So when they are conducting the interview also, they will have the PPT open on their screen in front of them. So that will also give them it will give an edge to you than others. आपको उससे भी फायदा होगा. एक तरह से एक अलग चीज उनको दिखेगी. They will also remember that this person had given his resume in this format, and they are going to be, I think, more, it will be there in their mind to remember you, and which will help you in getting the job in the final stage. So let's come to now interview part. अभी तक हम लोगों ने इंटरव्यू के बेसिक्स के बारे में बात किया. सिंस इट्स अ वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू.
सर सॉरी टू डिस्टर्ब यू.
या टेल
सर
मी.
क्वेश्चंस हम एंड में लेंगे या फिर अगर बीच बीच
अभी
में
लेंगे, बस थोड़ी देर बाद. अभी इसके बाद क्वेश्चन ही चालू होने
ओके,
वाले हैं.
क्योंकि मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन आया है, तो इफ यू अलाउ मैं अभी ले लेती हूँ या फिर आप बाद
नहीं, मैं
में
एक
ले.
बार क्वेश्चंस लेता हूँ, हो सकता है वो क्वेश्चन कवर हो जाएगा मेरा टॉपिक में.
हाँ ठीक है सर.
तो
ओके ओके
अगर नहीं कवर होगा तो अपन बाद में ले लेंगे.
ओके
बट
सर, नो
अदरवाइज,
इशू.
because I have taken lots of questions which are general questions also, and which are work from home questions also, which are
ओके
generally asked now. So
ओके सर.
I
ओके
will take up that and then we'll do. If still,
ओके
if still they do not get the answer, we'll do it.
ओके
Okay.
सर.
Yeah. So before you go for an interview, relax yourself before the interview. That's very important thing. If possible, do meditation, yoga. It helps a lot. And relaxation is very good before going for any interview. Present yourself in such a way that you are the best fit for this job. So you have to present yourself in such a way that this job has been created for you and you are the best fit for this job. The employer or the HR department should feel, yes, you have the, now they've got the right candidate for this job. Always have an eye contact with the panelist. आप वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो, इधर देखोगे उधर देखोगे, पैनलिस्ट सामने बैठा है, he will not like it. Always have an eye contact with the interview. Don't fumble when you are giving any answers. Don't fumble. Be prepared to sell yourself, but be polite. Sell yourself, not physically, for the job. So please be prepared to sell yourself politely. Make and keep your notes with you since it's a virtual interview. You can always keep your notes either on your phone or maybe on paper and pen, whatever is there. Keep a paper and pen also handy with you. So if any questions are asked by them and if you want to make some notes, you can do that also. Now think one thing. You gave an interview and not selected. Why? Ask a question to yourself. Why were you not selected? To my knowledge, you could not be in the selected team because you did not give the answers which they wanted to hear. So we have to understand where we are going for an interview, what kind of culture they have, how these interviews have been. If possible, if you can learn it from others, if you can find out people those who have already given interview over there, what kind of questions are generally asked by them, what they try to look from the interviewee, all those things helps you in learning better. Always look at the website of the company where you're going for an interview beforehand. That will itself tell you a lot of things. There are lot many other websites where you can get reviews from employees and employers, both of them. So try to find out the reviews from there. That will also help you in attending interviews. Any interview, whether it be a physical interview or be a virtual interview. Before I come to the questions, I'll just skip through some of the do's and don'ts of interview. Some of the do's and don'ts of interview. So rehearse for an interview if possible. Do it with your friends, with your family members, or maybe even in front of a mirror. Anticipate the obvious questions which can be asked in an interview. Look at the job description very, very carefully before you go for an interview. जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन से ही रिलेटेड होता है आपका रेज्यूमे एंड रेज्यूमे से ही रिलेटेड होते हैं क्वेश्चंस व्हेन दे आर आस्क्ड सो बी वेरी केयरफुल if possible read your resume once before you start appearing for the interview. As I told you, look into the website of the company. Then the last thing which I would like to tell you is follow the principle of 50-40-10. Now you will ask me what is this 50-40-10? Do you want to know or not? So this 50-40-10 is your around 50 to 45, 50 to 55% depends on your body language. Imagine your interview, in an interview, 50 to 55% depends on your body language. 38 to 40% is your voice and tone, how you speak, or how is your voice modulation. All those things are very important. And last 7% or 10% is about the content. इमेजिन आप इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हैं एंड 50% इज योर बॉडी लैंग्वेज 40% इज योर वॉइस एंड टोन एंड 10% is only your content. So what is more required is confidence, personality, how you look, how is your first impression. All those things are very important. Now few don'ts I will speak about. Don't be overconfident. Be confident but not overconfident. I hope you all understand What is overconfidence? I'm not going to talk about it. Do not criticize your previous employers ever. चाहे आपको अच्छा लगे या खराब लगे, I suggest please do not criticize your previous employers. A lot of people do this mistake. They criticize their previous employers, which generally is not, it should not be done. Never say that I hate my job. Whatever be your position over there, never say that I hate my job. Because cribbing is unprofessional, which is not accepted by any organization. If you crib about yourself or your job or your employer, it is not acceptable anywhere in any of the corporate world. Don't give your answers in yes or no. If I will ask you, have you worked from home? You will say yes. No. That is not the answer. You have to give details with it. You cannot give your answer only in yes or no. Remember, whenever you are attending any interview, please do not give your answer only in yes or no. So don't show desperation for the job, but prepare but be prepared well to sell yourself. Be prepared well, sell yourself. Don't talk about any of your personal issues in an interview, any interview. Don't relate it to your personal issue. Always keep professional. Professionalism is very important in any interview. Yeah, there are some questions which I can also see here. Resume should be how many pages in PPT? In PPT, I would say around 5, 6, maximum 7, not more than that. Divide it in equal parts, content, and generally, I suggest that when you are making a resume in PPT, uh, don't use the old system of chronological system. We use a different system wherein you give, it should be skill based. Professionalism should be more on it. So it should be more of skill based. Then how to reply for this will come today, don't worry. How to react if you don't know the answer, I will talk about that also. How to react if you give a wrong answer, okay. We'll talk about it, okay. Yeah. Now let me come to some of the questions which are asked in present scenario in virtual interviews. The first question what I have taken is, was this your first experience in work from home? Was this your first time you worked from home? So you have to be very confident to answer that. You should not say, no, no, I have worked earlier also. Don't be fumbling. You should be very sure what answer you are giving. You say, I worked earlier also, but in real sense, if you want to know, this was my first time wherein I worked virtually from home. Because this time, whole of my team was also working from home. Whole of the department was also working from home. So I would say this was the actual experience of working virtually from home for the first time. We never thought, in fact, in which department you are, it depends when you are working. I would say that an employee gave an answer that I am working for a treasury department of a bank. And we could never think of that this department also could work virtually. But now we have learned to work virtually even in this department and whole team works together. So give an answer more confidently and it would be, see, beginning of the interview, giving the right answer in the right way with more confidence lets you also gather a lot of confidence in yourself. Once you gather that confidence, then you'll be able to reply to the questions in much better way, in a calm way. Okay. Now the second question what can be asked is, how you got equipped and what new things you learned while working from home. How you got equipped and what new things you learned while working from home. So I would give answer to such a question is initially to start with it was difficult as I had to make arrangements of proper workplace with proper internet connection in my home. So initially it was difficult to find the right place in my home. In place like Bombay, we have small homes, houses, wherein it is very difficult. And in a family, generally four members would be there. Maybe all of them are working from home. You never know. So you have to find the right place for yourself. We had all our meetings online. We had to make all our presentations online when started working from home. Answer to your questions. The question which was asked, how you got equipped and what new things you learned while working from. We also had to see that our bosses could attend the meetings. In some cases, we had to help them virtually to set up their systems also. हमको अपने बॉस को भी सिखाना पड़ा कैसे जाना है जूम में कैसे जाना है कैसे लॉग इन करना है क्या करना है दैट ऑल्सो वी हैड टू हेल्प देम or we could log them on my computer and through my computer we could add them. So all those things became easier. Initially it was difficult for all of us, but then slowly everyone came into the system. Also other than this, I learned about a lot of home chores during this lockdown period. मुझे काफ़ी कुछ घर का काम करने को भी सीखना पड़ा. I had to be part of it. Since you are a family, you have to contribute everywhere. You cannot say that I am only busy with my work from home. I cannot do any work at home. So you have to be very careful. So you can add up this that I had learned a lot of home chores also during this period of lockdown when I was working from home. What challenges you faced initially? What challenges you faced initially? What answer will you give to this? Before I give, let me again look at some questions and answers if there are some new questions. Okay. Uh, what challenges you faced initially? So, what answer are you going to give? It's a very difficult answer, I would say, but you have to be prepared for it. So, to find a proper silent place to work from home, uh, in your computer also, if you are using a laptop, I would suggest that you use a mouse pad instead of a trackpad because you'll be working for long hours. Increase the bandwidth of your internet if possible. Sometimes the internet speed is very, it just keeps changing the speed to have a better internet connection. Then when you start working from home, you feel probably you could work at any hour of the day. You could work during night, you could work during evenings, you could work during mornings. You feel so. But in practical life, when I started working from home, it was not possible because my whole team was working and we had to interact with all of them. If I decided to work at night, my team may not be working at night. So interactions were required. So I had to finally continue with the so finally I had to continue with the same working hours. The only difference was when I work from home, I work for a little longer hours. I had to make multiple calls also side by side. So all those things were the challenges when I started working from home. So there's a lot of difference when you work from home and when you work in an organization. Then one more question which can be asked is how is it different from office working environment? How is work from home different from office working environment? So you have to be prepared for answering this question. Tell them that it's very different. In office, we get to meet so many other people. You also go for coffee breaks in between, which is very much required. Now you miss all the physical presence and sometimes working just on computer for long hours without any breaks becomes quite monotonous. it becomes very monotonous. That's what we all face. If we don't take breaks, longer hours, just keep working, keep working, keep working, it becomes very monotonous. But in an office, we have colleagues, we have friends, we have other people in our organization wherein we chat with them, there is some change, we go for coffee breaks, all those things are there. Then it is different environment completely. Working from home is a completely different environment. So we have to balance our personal life and working life when we are working from home. Learn how to balance our working life and personal life. Then this question can be asked, would you prefer to work from home if you were given an opportunity? I think most of you would jump to it, yes. But it is not like that. Working from home is not all that easy. The only thing is, since now you have got used to working from home, you should say, yes, I would prefer to work from home if given an opportunity. But before I start working from home for a new organization, I would like to understand the working culture of the organization. Then only I would be in a position to give answer to this if opportunity given to me to work from home, whether I'll be able to work from home or not, whether I should accept or not. But as far as working from home now is concerned, I am prepared for it and I should be able to work from home without any difficulty. What you missed most while working from home? We have already spoken about it earlier also. Short coffee break, physical presence of everyone. The most what you miss is the office table culture. That is getting up every day in the morning, getting dressed, and going to the office. So you miss that part. Now you just get up, get ready, and start working on your computer instead of going to the office. So that part you miss. No more traveling required. Was your software, office software, linked to your computer, to your work from home? Yes, it was linked. The IT department was working on it day and night, trying to help us in creating, in linking our computers with all of them, all my teammates, all the members of the organization, so that we could interact with them. Initially, it took time for to them to do that, but the IT team was working day and night, who were allowed to go to the office as they were taken as part of the essential services, and they helped us in doing the linking all our softwares. What software or ERP system you were using? So you can always mention whatever software you were using, SAP, Oracle, whatever it was. So you mention about it, you talk about it. We were using this system, they were all linked also. And as far as meetings were concerned, we were doing it on Teams or whatever it is, do that. Then there can be one question, was it real-time communication? Yes, it was real-time communication. All internal and external communications were real-time. Meetings with vendors, suppliers was difficult initially, but we helped them in getting equipped with the work from home culture and work from home system, and we could conduct meetings with them also. Then finally, the last question, what would come to my mind relating to work from home is, what skills do you need to work from home? According to me, you need lot many skills to work from home. You have to be well organized. You have to be very adaptable. Until you are adaptable, you will not be able to work from home. You should be able to communicate well, because everything is on the system. Everything is on how you communicate. It depends on that. So you should be able to communicate well. You have to balance your time. very well between work and home also. You have to be a little bit tech savvy also. Until you are tech savvy, you may not be able to do it. If I do not know how to put on this Zoom today and connect with you all, I may not be able to pass on the message to you. Better relations with your work co-workers also is required. Then you have to accept the responsibilities also when you are working from home. So these are all different kinds of skills which you learn while you work from home. Your current interviewer may ask you this question also, remember. Were you monitored while you were working? Were you monitored while you were working? This is a very important question. So you have to answer this question very in a different way. You have to say that working hours have in fact increased when I'm working from home, and it balances the time which I save on traveling. And I'm sure that all large organizations have this system of monitoring how many hours and what time of the day you are giving for your work to office. And even softwares are easily available nowadays to check this part about your monitoring of your work from home. So I'm sure all organizations must be doing it, and my organization, according to me, was doing it earlier. So you can be very clear about it. Now let's look at some of the questions which are here first. Then we'll do the next part, which will be about the general questions and answers. The next part will be how to reply being a fresher for question asked. What is your expectation? Uh, See, you have to basically match it with the job description for which you are going for an interview. If you match it with the job description for which you are going for an interview, it will be automatically that you have replied to the question which has been asked. As far as fresher is concerned, you may think that I do not have an experience. It does not matter. Talk about the experience which you have gained during the period of your college. You must have attended some events, you must have organized some events, so talk about them. So don't bother about the experience part of it. A lot of people feel, okay, I do not have any experience, what will I talk about? So it does not matter whether you have experience or not. Please don't bother. How do you react if we don't know the answer? Be truthful. Tell them, sorry, sir, I will not be able to answer this question. I am not really aware of the how to answer this question. Be truthful, I would say that. Best is to be always truthful, honest. Don't try to give wrong answers. If you are aware, if you know something also about it, speak about it. But don't try to give, don't try to be, just give the, be truthful and tell them the fact that I will not be able to answer this question. How to react if we give wrong answer and interview corrects at that moment. Accept your mistake. That's all I can say. Nothing else. Wrong has been done and your interview is correcting it. You don't need to correct it any further now. So just accept it and go ahead. What is the scenario of person having experience of more than 10 years or more in an interview? Scenario is always same. The only thing is the experience you have is more, the skills you have to have is more. So skill more, we speak on your skills than your what you have been doing. What skills you have, what you have gained in this 10 years. Don't say that I do this, I do this, I do this. No, nobody is interested in knowing that. People who are taking interview are interested in knowing what skills you have and whether those skills can be used in the present job requirement. Just try to match them with the present job requirement. So read the job description very carefully. Look into the depth of the company where you're going for the interview. Try to find out more about it as much as you can through various websites. Next question. If there is a gap between my previous employment, I will be coming to this question in today my next part of question and answers. We don't have much time. Let me see. I'll try to skip few of the questions from there and then do the next question. Which type slide use PPT? Whether you can do mixture of that, but don't use too much of pictures. You can do both of them. Okay. So one question which is left, I'm going to cover up in the session now. I think I'll need some little bit more time than I may not be able to complete it by 6. Will I be allowed to take some more time?
We can extend the session by like 10-15 minutes.
Okay, that
That
would
is
be fine.
okay.
So I think that I'll need to give that 10-15 minutes extra.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Now I'm talking about general questions. General questions which are always asked in most of the interviews. So before I start the questions, let me first take up the question which was asked over here. If why there is a gap between the employment. So what best answer you can give for this kind of question? What will be your answer? What do you think? What can be your answer for this question? Anyone? You can think of anything? You can always say that I was using this time to develop more skills related to the job. I was doing a course. I was doing something which will help me increase my skills. So you can always use that. Tell them that I was doing a course for myself. And still, if there is any reason, you can say for due to personal reasons also I had to take a break. I had to look after the ailing parents in my family. My wife is also working. I had to look after the child. Whatever is the fact, you can say. But try to give a reason behind it. Don't say that job नहीं था नहीं मिला मैं क्या करूँ, not like that. Give a reason behind it. Use the time properly. You should prove that even if you did not have a job, you use that time in the right direction to learn something new, to develop your skills further. So always try to do like that. Now, the first question asked in any interview is tell me something about yourself or tell me something that is not in your resume. I will take up this question instead of tell me about yourself first. Tell me something what is there not there in resume. How are you going to answer that? So when this question is asked, please put forward your strengths, your skills, whatever you have not been able to put in the resume. Maybe you are a very good speaker. Maybe you are a very good communicator. Maybe you have the qualities of training, which you have not put in the resume because it was not required. So mention those things. Share about your qualities. You may be a good team worker. Mention that. You can be a good public speaker. Mention that. So talk about something which is not there in the resume and for which at which you are good at. Share some of your personal qualities that fits the job role also, not only related to yourself, where you feel that it is going to fit the job requirement also. Show your passion for the job and just don't keep describing about I have done this, I have done that, or I do this or I do that. They are not interested in listening to that. Keep this in mind. After that, if you have done, after you have finished the professional part, you can talk about little bit about your personal habits and hobbies. Reading, swimming, cycling, whatever it is, tracking. You can speak a little bit about them. That's what I suggest. First, talk of the professional part of it, your skills, and then you talk about your personal life. So, I had also taken up the same question before your current job. You have a gap. Can you explain? That's what I had taken up. So this is what it is. The answer I have already given you, that you are doing something to better yourself, training, learning, whatever it is, or attending your parents or whatever it is. Then next question comes is, what kind of work environment you are most productive? What answer will you give for this? What kind of work environment you are most productive? So what they are trying to find out over here, in what kind of environment you work most efficiently, where you fit best. So give your answer in such a way that most of the organizations will need this quality. So talk about that. You need a good communication and teamwork where members of team have strong and good work ethics. Talk something like that. And also mention, if it is not available, I am ready to build it also for the organization. If it is not available, I am also ready to build it for the organization. So good communication and teamwork is required, where members work together and have good work ethics, strong and good work ethics. I also prefer to work with competent people. That also you can say, what kind of environment where a lot of learning is available. I would also like to work in an environment where I can learn new things. It adds value. So you can speak about them. Then there can be a question, what do you know about our organization? So as I told you, you have to be very prepared right from beginning. Look at the various websites, companies' websites, various other websites. Try to find out and talk something positive about the company. Maybe it's something you had read recently in the newspapers about this company where you're going for an interview. Speak about that. Maybe they would have done something like right now, lockdown is happening, COVID is happening. This company might have done something very exceptionally for the people, for the arrangement of the patients to stay in the hospital. All those things might have been there. They would have arranged for some food for somebody. It might have come in the papers recently or in the news recently. So talk about that. Talk about what they have done for the betterment of the life of the people. So talk about that. Talk about positive work culture. Always talk about work culture. Basically, here the interview wants to know about your career goals and how you will be in position in next few years. That's what he wants to know. That's why these questions are asked. Now these are all your behavioral and stress questions type of thing, not your technical question. Technical question is generally related to the subject, which I have not taken up at all. Accounts, finance, marketing, purchase, or HR, all those things. I have not taken the technical questions. I have taken either general questions or behavioral questions or stress questions, whatever is there. Then there is one question which generally comes is, how do you handle stress and pressure? This is a behavioral question. They want to see how you perform under stress, how you have worked under stress. So we have to give this answer with some examples on from your previous experience. Try to give some examples. In every question, wherever it is possible, give a small example if it is possible, because that gives a very good positive impression on the interviewer and will stay in his mind that this is what the answer I got from this person for the interview. So it will stay in his mind, and he will always, when he starts selecting whom he has to select, you will be there in his mind and you will get a preference than others. So do always give an example if possible. So as far as this question is concerned, how do you work under stress and pressure? Just tell them I focus and get my job done. I focus on my job and get it done. To release stress and pressure, sometimes I go to the gym or I do meditation. You can talk about that also. If required, I get an outside help. Instead of getting into pressure and stress, I would like to take an outside help. Help from my senior, help from my colleague, help from someone else also if required. So I'm open for that also. It is not that "Okay, I know everything and I do not want to take any help from anyone." No, don't have that culture. In fact, you can say that under pressure I perform better. It develops new skills when I work under pressure. Give an example. I will just give you an example. Last time I was asked to handle two projects at a time, side by side. Two projects at a time, side by side. And I learned how to manage things in a better way by time management and do multitasking. So this is what I learned and give an example like this. This is just an example which I give from my side, but you could give any other example also. What questions have I received again? I have already spoken about this time gap. How to follow up if application for vacancy is sent via email and the same is quoted for expectation and they don't revert back, how to follow up on the same. You have to just follow up email to them, nothing else you can do basically. If in under such situation, you can send a follow up, just send a soft reminder to them saying that I had applied for this vacancy and I'm still waiting to look forward to hear from you. Just send a formal letter to them, email again to them. I had new job in March, but from May the company closed down due to Corona. Shall I mention the experience of 2 months in the resume and new salary structure? This is a very exceptional case. I think you can mention in this case, but in general cases, when you work for 1 or 2 months, I would not suggest to mention that in any of your this thing. Keep it as a gap. It does not matter. But here the company closed down because of the lockdown position and all. You can always mention over here. But if it had been a general way, then I would suggest that you don't need to mention it. Okay. Uh, one more question. I'm just going to take 1 or 2 more questions, not many. I think we are already reaching time. Give 5 adjectives that fit you most. What can be your 5 adjectives that fit you most? Give answer to that. It's very important question. Try to link it to your skills. Try to adjust it to the work culture. Try to reply it in such a way that you fit into the present job also. I will name few of them. You can select whatever you feel like and try to use them. So give 5 adjectives that fit you the most. What will you say? If I was asked this question, I would say I am reliable, I am hardworking, I am innovative. I believe in generating new ideas, creating something new. I am communicative, energetic, likable. There are so many words which I can use. Smart, doesn't matter, you can always use the word. I'm smart. If possible, give examples for 1 or 2 out of them. Why do you consider yourself for this adjective? Why do you consider yourself to be reliable, hardworking, whatever you have given? Give some examples, 1 or 2 examples. I am punctual. I am consensus. Consensus. What does this mean? I take my duties very seriously. I do my duties very seriously. So I am consensus. Always give 1 or 2 examples wherever it is possible. Now there are a lot many questions which are related to your what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, then how would you handle failure? All these questions are there. There are a lot many questions. Actually, I have a bank of not less than 100 questions with me, which are generally asked in interviews. But I cannot cover up all those questions now, today. Still, I would talk on few of the things. Always mention your skills whenever strengths are asked. Maybe they are given in the resume also, but you can always talk about them. Weaknesses, always convert your weaknesses into a positive. Never leave your weakness as a weakness. Tell them, I was weak in this, but during my last assignment, I've learned a lot and now it is no more a weakness to me. So don't keep your weakness as a weakness. Convert your weakness into a positive. Don't leave it a negative. Never say that, see, weakness है, आपको पता चल गया है, तो you have to improve on it. So always convert your weakness into a positive. Always say that I have learned to work on my weaknesses. Like I would say that you can give an example. Earlier, I was not able to do multitasking or handle two, three projects at a time. But during my last assignments, I have learned this and now I can handle two, three assignments together, two, three projects together. So convert your weakness into a positive. Please do not leave your weakness into a weakness. You cannot do that. Remember that. Okay, I will try to make a small PPT of all the questions. I will not be giving the answers, but I will be giving all the questions and send it across to this platform, and you can get it from them. Yes, mostly both of you have asked this question to compile the questions and send it. I will do that. So remember to convert your weakness into a positive. Don't leave it as a negative. One last question I'll take is, how would you handle failure? Failure क्या होता है? We all say that failure is a stepping stone. So accept your responsibility. Failure means accept your responsibility. Accept for your shortcomings and suggestions given by others to improve yourself. So I accept my failures. I try to find out my shortcomings and accept the suggestions given by others. So this is again a positive part. Uh, then there are many other questions. How do you handle success? Similar to how do you handle failure? Do you consider yourself to be successful? Describe yourself. So, lot many questions are there. If I start taking up all the question and answers, I'll be needing another 2 3 hours. How do you accept criticism? So, criticism, I would suggest that you should always say that I generally respond positively to the criticism. I accept the criticism. It helps me in improving myself. It helps me in improving wherever I am weak. So I accept wherever the criticism is constructive, I accept it. It has to be a constructive criticism. It helps me to equip myself in a better way, learn more skills, and best way. This is one of the best way to learn by criticism. So accept that. Never say, I do not like criticism. No, no. There can be a question, how does your co-workers describe you? So you have to be prepared for it. What answer you're going to give? What do you like or dislike about your college? Again, I would say never talk bad about your college or your previous employer or your previous bosses. Same thing applies even for your college. So say, talk something better, good about your college. Say that it was a small campus. We were given responsibilities to hold events. I had taken parts in events and I was one of the main organizers of the event, something like that. You talk about it. And there's nothing much to dislike about my college. So this is what I would end up. I would try to compile the questions for you all, look for the answers, and be prepared for interview whenever you are giving whatever interview it is, whether virtual or physical. Questions remain same. Only for virtual interview, work from home questions are the additional part which I spoke in the beginning. So I think with this I will end up my webinar for the day on interview skills, and I think that's all from me today. I'll try to compile the questions and send it across, and then you can have it from the team.
So there is one more query. Himani Sharma is asking, how should we conclude our interviews in general? Like,
Uh,
should we, leave first or then ask them to leave or something like
no,
that?
see, generally that's a very good question what she has asked, because you have to understand that the interview has concluded. Generally, what happens is whenever the interview get before the interview gets concluded, interviewers will ask you, "Do you have any questions from us?" So that is a sign that you have really understood what it is. And you are allowed to ask some questions. Don't ask questions that "Ki, how much salary will I get? Have I got this job?" Don't ask those type of questions. Questions you can ask is something: whom I will be reporting, what kind of team I do have, if I'm given the job, how much time you will be giving me to join, all those kind of questions you can ask. So the interviewer will give you a hint that now the interview has closed, and he may ask you also. It is possible all interviews they may not ask, but most of the interviewers will ask you if you have any questions for us. So that is a sign that now the interview is getting closed. Okay.
Yes, sir. I think, sir, we have taken all the queries, and this session was indeed very helpful, especially for if someone is, looking for job, and because of COVID-19, many people have lost their job also,
Yes,
and
yes, very
now
important.
definitely there will be many job seekers in the market. So this session was very important for those, as interviews would be held virtually only. And one request which came was that if you could give the ppt of all the relevant questions. So if you will give the ppt to us, I'll upload that ppt on our website, studycafe.in, and participants, they can download that ppt from that website, and it would be helpful.
I
And
will
sir,
com- I will compile the questions and send it across to your team. I mean, you can then put it on your
sir,
platform.
and also if you think it is fine for you, you can share your number or email ID to the participants, whichever is acceptable, so that if they have some query and they want to talk to you directly, they can do that as well.
Okay, I will do that right now. I have not made any PPT for the day, so I cannot show it by way of PPT, but I will tell you my number and my email ID also. My name is Suresh Jain, CA Suresh Jain. My mobile number is 9869002963. I'll repeat once again: 9869002963. And my email ID is sjcabom. SJ stands for my name, Suresh Jain. CA for Chartered Accountant, BOM for Bombay. So sjcabom at gmail.com. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Yeah, you can put it
So
on your platform also. And once I give the PPT to them with the questions, I will put in over there also.
definitely, sir.
Yeah. And anyone interested in any type of questions related to interview, group discussion, you are most welcome. I am open to it. And if you want to have an experience of group discussion or mock interview, I'm open to that. I do conduct a lot of mock interviews, lot of mock group discussions also, and I also help a lot of people in creating the resumes. So yeah, all of you are welcome anytime. Thank you. I
uh,
think with this I would end up. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I wish everybody gets a job very soon. And with that, namaste to all of you.
Thank you, Shaji. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ajay ji.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.